I'm dropped off back here at the ranger station. Ranger Station Business Center. And following the blazes. I saw a blaze down here somewhere. There's a blaze right there. It's Mount Rogers National Recreational Area Visitor Center. It's got all the... There it is right there. That's the business center. There's a blaze. Man, it's a beautiful day. I'll tell you, after it rains out here and turns cold, it's nice and cool this morning. This is going to be great hiking. There's a trail straight across. All right, let's go. Try not to get run over. All right, up we go. One last look at that Ranger Station Visitor Center. I-81's 10.5 miles. That's what that says. That's where I'm heading. There's a restaurant there, and there's a little motel, and that's what I'm planning on. It's a little after 9. I'm hoping I get there by 3. Well, 6. I hope. Let me check the profile. We'll get going here. I did want to say I got a shuttle back from that hostel in the middle of the town. It's not that far to town, to Marion, and the shuttle only cost $10, so that was good. And she stopped and I got like 5 croissant sandwiches at Hardee's, at Burger King, and an apple pie, and I ate every one of them in a Coke. So I got a big breakfast already in me right now. So it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a great day. But today it's like I'm climbing right now, so, but I don't know, I'm in good spirits. This is the epitome of distance hiking. And it's like when you got one day where you're cold, wet, and miserable, and your spirits are down. Then you go somewhere, you dry out, you eat a good meal, everything works out, you meet some wonderful people, and then you get back on the trail the next day, everything's dried out. And it makes today, everything's relative, so it makes today like extra special. You just feel extra good because you're coming off a miserable cold day, you know. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a chapter in life, you know. You're cold and miserable. The next day you're ecstatic, you know. It makes it better. It's just so much better when you. All right, we got a good climb here. It's like straight up. Well, it's not too straight up, probably about 12-15% grade. Maybe 12, 13, 14% grade, something like that. It's not too bad. I don't have to really use the poles. I'm gonna start digging in these poles in a minute, but I feel really good. I got energy, I got my trail legs, and I'm gonna start. I'll get this first climb done and get warmed up, and this is gonna be good. All right, let me cut this thing off and get going. Okay, I'll do a couple other things. If anybody was following me on the transponder, I actually had my power managed pretty well, and I had enough left in the block to power my transponder if it went out, and it did go out. It ran out of juice, and I couldn't power it while I was hiking because the rain never let up. From the time I started hiking yesterday till almost like it was when I walked up here to the ranger station, it cleared up. It stopped raining, and I didn't want to take a risk because on the transponder it's got a little rubber cover, a little plug that keeps it from getting wet, the port getting wet, and I didn't want to open that plug up in the rain and be charging it while I was hiking down the trail, which is what I normally do while it was raining. So I elected just to let the transponder go out till I could get somewhere and plug it in. I charge it up. So that's what I did. So there's no breadcrumbs coming up to the ranger station on it. So if anybody's following my transponder, watching the crumbs, just be aware, like on the 5th day somewhere, but And it's rain. Yeah, it's. I just ran out of juice, and I could have juiced it up, but I didn't want to. Like I said, plug it in while I was raining. And I wasn't going to put a tarp over my head and charge it. Sit there somewhere for 30 minutes. No, I wanted to. I just wanted to get going. Oh, this trail, that wasn't bad. Initial climb. I didn't even check the profile. And at this stage of the game hiking, I don't even care about profiles. I've hiked through Virginia before. I know how it is. There's no super hard climbs anywhere anyway. But it's always up and down out here. It's always up and down. And let me turn this thing out. When I get there, I'll be loading this video tonight to get that motel room. And so another thing, people that are following me, you wonder, well, why didn't it call? It's like Troy looking out for the place over there. Here's the thing, my phone and answering text, like I got something from Bruce, stuff like that. Hey, how you doing? Here's the thing, a lot of times I'm not in cell service. And when I'm hiking, I shut my phone. I keep my phone on airplane mode. So then when I do get a signal, I get it up and I get a weather report. And then I power the phone back down, because at night I power it down and I put it right back on. That's all to maintain power. So that's why I don't have time to fungal around and look for stuff and spend time on the phone. It's powered back down right away. These phones go a long way. Keep them powered down. I don't want to carry any more of a power bank. I can manage my power for about 5 days. And there's nowhere on the trail, except maybe in the 100-mile wilderness, where I can't get through with 5 days. So, without finding a charging station somewhere. So that's what I'm looking at. I've gotten to where I'm pretty good. I don't do a big edit on my videos, I sling them together and look for stuff. I do cut some stuff out. If I get lengthy like talking, I might even cut some of this out when I'm talking right now. But other than that, they're pretty much raw. But let me cut this off. But just to let you know, and see, and when I do get to town, the immediate thing, I'm starting to charge up right away. I'm charging up my stuff, and I'm downloading the videos or checking them out or editing them. And when I'm doing that, I'm not talking on the phone. So, so it's the only time I can really call, and I'm busy. When I got to get my laundry done, I got to resupply, I got to do this and that. So I'm kind of, it sounds weird, but I'm busy and I'm tired and I just want to take a shower and go to sleep. But I love it. It's really cool. I like doing it. But let me get, it's getting rocky. Let me get off this thing. Yeah, I'm just figuring out how to do the calculations on this app. And for the next 11, it's 11.5 miles to Interstate 81, according to the app. So it said 10.5 on the sign back there. But I checked my descent and I calculated it out. It's going to be like 1,900 feet of ascent, which is nothing in 11 miles. And it's like 3,000 descent going down. So it's conducive to get this knocked out to fly. So I'm fixing to put this down and only just hit a few highlights and get going here. Feeling pretty good. And that's all there is across this road here. And looking good. So that's a beautiful. I can't get over this morning. It's just beautiful. The temperature's just conducive to hike. And I'm ready just to concentrate on cruising now. Legs are feeling good. That old toe without the cartilage, all my arthritis areas are doing good. The best thing for arthritis is movement anyway, and your body responds, and mine's responding. I am so lucky and so blessed that I can hike at my age, and I'm loving it. Here we go. All right. Yeah. And I just topped out on that climb. And remember, I did the far out. I ran the numbers, and what you can do is you go from one data point to the next data point. And I did the data point on Interstate 81, and that was the total hike for that 11 miles. It's going to be at the 1,900 ascent, 3,000 descent. But coming out of Marion's down there, Of course, I went up in elevation a little bit up here at the ranger station. But whenever you come off a hard top down there, it's like all that. It wasn't through 11 miles. All the climbing was to get out of there. I just did at least an 800. I mean, I know the climbs. I just climbed 800 feet to get up here at least. I'm up here on top now again. Breeze is nice and cool. I mean, I broke a sweat. And I think all my descent is going to be at the end of this ridge line or whatever mountain I'm on. But you got to get down to I-81. You know, I-81 is not that high, you know. So that's what that's where my descent's going to get here at the latter part of the day is where my descent after lunch. And I'm going to be going up and down along this ridge line and along these mountains here. And but it's all good. Got the initial climb out of the way, and I'm feeling really good. Still climbing a little bit, but we're pretty much at the top of this climb. It's a little after 10, and I just checked my elevation. I'm at 3,600 feet, which I've climbed up quite a bit. And the total on this section I-81 I'm doing today, I see sky up there. The total climb is I'm going to stay under 4,000 feet today. So, and that's kind of typical of Virginia. The climbs, that climb back there was rough. It was straight up, 800 foot. And I'm talking straight up, 20% grade easy. No switchbacks, it just went straight up. Which was kind of sometimes in the morning. I like that because you got the energy. And, I'm in good shape. And a straight up climb, you get it knocked out, you're already up here. And yeah, I'm coming to the very top now. I'm coming up here. I'm not going to get much higher. So should be able to make some track now. And you see the sky up there. That's the top of this climb. All right. And of course, here we go. You know, when I talk about grades, you talk about 20% grade. That's every bit of what they are up here. There's some on the bit in Makai that's 22%. Or maybe a little more, but on these 18, 20% grades out here, you think, well, that's not that much. Because a 45% grade would be like 3/4 up. Well, if you're in a car and you go down a 10% grade and you're in your car going down the road, it looks like in your car you're going straight down. That's what it looks like. You're not going to ever touch the gas. You're going to be hitting your brakes. If you're in a semi truck, you're going to have the air brakes on, and you got to be very careful if you're running a load because they can get away from you. If you're hauling, 70,000 pounds, something like that, you got to be real careful. And the guys with semi trucks know, and that's only on a 5 or maybe a 7% grade, and it looks like you're straight down. Your heart's beating when you're in a semi truck at a 7% grade. So just to give you an idea, 20%. But like this grade right here, I'm going up on this one right here. This is probably a 10% right here. I'm going up right now. And I've got this for, it looks like a few more 100 yards. And I'll be done with that, then I'll be going down. Everything's up and down out here in the Appalachian. Gotta watch where I'm going here, but every distance hike I've been on out here, in the springtime, I've only been on 3 distance hikes out here. Been on a lot of hikes, but the 3 distance hikes, I've come across at some point or another a timber rattler here in the springtime, and there'll be sunning on the trail after and a day like this, just the colors are just brilliant after a rain up here. Just all the greens are greener. Everything's green or green, you know. I just come about this big climb out of nowhere. Went up about 500 feet, just switched back, and then it went straight up. This whole field of rocks. I see the top up there though. Yeah, it's beautiful. Feel the breeze too. I'll tell you one of the allures of mountain hiking up here. You get up here around 4,000 feet, and it's a different world. And they say I'm not a botanist or an insect person or whatever, but there's like salamanders and certain plants up here that are unique to anywhere because they've been locked up. They've been locked up here since the last ice age. I'm not a botanist or anything, so I can't really explain some of that, but there's what I'm getting at is there's like a different smell up here. The air is cleaner. The doctors in the early days back in the 1800s believed this air up here could cure you of things, and I'm not surprised. It does. It's like almost it's an empowerment when you get up here. That just the thinner air, slightly thinner air, and the different smells, and it's intoxicating. And there's no way to explain it. You know, to get up to these places, you've got to really work hard, climb. Of course, there's places maybe on Skyline Drive and stuff like that. You can get there by car pretty easy, but it's not the same as an exhilarating hike, though. You know, but we're really tough incline. Oh, whoa! I'm all right. I didn't hurt anything. I'm sitting there on this phone. It takes concentration, especially going downhill. And I was, my pants a little muddy. I stepped over that log just wrong and slipped. See my slip mark. See my slip mark there. And it's oh shit. That's all right. I'm all right. I'm not hurt. On something like that, what I do is I twist and I flip and I landed on my pack back there. As long as there's nothing coming out my pack, I'm all right. I'm going downhill. Let me start concentrating. That was a little lapse in concentration holding this phone, and it's you can get hurt out here. Not careful. All right, let's go. That back there was pretty typical. If it's hard going up the one side of the mountain and it's all rock and steep at the end, usually when you top out and you go up there in the top for a while, then when you come back down, come over here to one of these high gaps, it's the same way back down. So I picked my way down about 150 yards down through rocks. Now it's even out a little bit where I can kind of travel. There's no rocks. It's down. So I'll move along here for a while at a pretty good pace. I wonder what kind of tree that is. But look at those blooms it's got. They're gorgeous. Huh. All right. Yeah, it's been a long climb here. I don't even know what mountain it is. But it's the Appalachian Trail. That's what it is. All right. I just did a mammoth climb. I topped out on this ridge, did a little ridge walk. I'm at 4,100 feet right now, and that's it. That's as far as I'm going to be climbing today. Everything else is down. Everything else is down. I'm not sure what the elevation is down there at I-81, 2,000 something feet. I don't know, but that's where we're going. That's going. Be careful I don't fall in this grade. I just did a check, and interstate is at 2,400 feet. So I'm at 4,100 feet here. Got to go down to 2,400 feet to I-81 eventually in the next 6.4 miles. So that's conducive, unless it's real steep going down in places. That's conducive to 2.5 miles an hour up here maybe, but don't run into too many rocks and too many steep downs. All right, right now it's kind of a steep down. No, it's not too bad. I'll put this camera up for a fall. Hardly.
Yeah, there's no depth to it.
What is that over there? That white thing?
Dam or something?
No, those are buildings.
Them are buildings.
Yeah, I can see the top. It's got the square on the bright building. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a warehouse.
It's like some kind of pavilion. Maybe some factories. Oh. Hey today, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple other hikers catch me. Everybody catches me. And I've been seeing these guys for miles. That's Feral and Sea Turtle. Sea Turtle. I think Sea Turtle's from Florida. Vero Beach or something down there. I'm not sure where Feral's from. You got guys from, these people from all over the country. Oh, Feral's from Montana. Yeah, he's from up in Montana. Out west, where he's from. Come down here. Yeah, the people from all over the country hike this trail, hike this trail. And them guys are both through hikers. I've seen them off and on. I've seen Farrell ever since I saw them in Georgia. And seen Sea Turtle there. I've seen him in North Carolina. So they always pass me, but I hike longer. And they might do a zero somewhere and I just pass on by or something like that, you know. I've been seeing them. All right, let me get this out of my hand before I fall on one of these rocks. Seriously hurt myself. I don't hear water. All right. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Get out of this hole. I'm going this way. I think it's my pack getting hung up in here. Yeah. Geez. So I kind of feel it there. I'll get out here somehow or another. And I get through there. Oh no, we didn't do that. Oh shit. Yeah. Can't get out that way. Take my pack off. Move around this way. Can't remember how it's like a doggone maze. I can get out that way. Yeah, let's stick it. Hey. Good. Yeah. I'm grinding up that hill. There was a couple of hikers coming through, but they're grinding up this hill, and they don't look in there. See, and so it was a successful business meeting. Okay, let's go. Yeah, that goes on forever that way. Yeah. I wonder what that humming noise was. I mean, listen to this. Listen to it. Man, that makes noise. High voltage. Keep off. There's some things up in here. That Appalachian Trail goes right under. That's somebody's house. Nice house, nice yard, man. Huh.
Please secure the little container.
This is what it looked like.
Throw all trash outside the receptacle.
This is a one-room
Very
schoolhouse.
nice, very kind of you. I waited for.
And then for the children had an outhouse. That's right.
I don't know where that.
Ain't too far from 81. I told some of the younger hikers where I was going to stay at. I've been piddling around. I ain't going to get there till about 5 o'clock. Yeah. I hope there's a room left in that little motel. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Alright, definitely hear the interstate down there. I can hear the trucks. So I come over this ridge, you can hear them clear now. Just got on this side here. Probably hear it from this tape. Says I'm still about 1.5 miles or so. But let's get on down there. Buttercup, buttercup, sweet little buttercup. It's a buttercup day. Check it out. That's springtime. Here's the buttercups. I'm a little more than a mile from the interstate, but the noise, that alien noise of the trucks and all in the background, it just gets louder and louder. It's like an alien noise. Weird, but it's a reminder my car is parked in Georgia. You know, but anyway, there's probably six thru hikers that I've been going back and forth with, and they're ahead of me. So, and there might be 1 or 2 behind me that could pass me, but that's about it. But anything before that would have started pretty early this morning, which I would have think they would have went right on past through this area. I don't know. So we'll see. But I think they're all heading to there's a barbecue place down here to eat. And so they're going, they're probably hoofing along here. Some of the ones that I even passed, they're probably hoofing along here now as fast as they can to get down to that barbecue place. You know, I don't know what the hurry is. I mean, I guess they want to get the barbecue, and then they want to get down the trail to camp somewhere, or to going down the trail. Some of them. I'm stopping up here, but I'm gonna call it. I think it'll be 11.9 day or 11 mile day. We'll see. We're going to cross some railroad tracks. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. All right, just like that, come out of the woods. And there's the relax in. That's where I'm going right there. Alright, that's it. It's one of these 1960 type 1950 old motels bought by Indians. And that's the red dot, Indian people. Now I can't go down that way, can I? Well, shit. Well, that sucks. They only do monthly and weekly. Well, they got empty rooms here. They only do much. They don't rent by the night no more. So, and there's one 2 miles down. I don't want to go 2 miles. I gotta go on the trail. Let me figure out what's. I gotta go up here and sit down and figure out another plan. All right. Hey, Mexican restaurant, and got Mexican food.
She would literally go to a check cashing place to get money so she could go out and buy stuff.
Stopped at the store, bought a bunch of about 5 pounds of junk food, and heading on out. Got reserved a room in a hostel tomorrow night, I think 10 miles from here. All right, that hiker right there is, I just ate some Mexican with him. He was sitting at my table. His name is Bounty, and he's from Australia. And he said it's about 8 a.m. in the morning. He just called home. That's when he calls home in the morning. I mean, they're exactly halfway across the world almost. I'm following him because I can't remember where the AT went. Apparently he knows. I don't see any blazes out here. Yeah, that's right. It goes under that bridge. It goes right under I-80 right there. I see it now. I see the flash. I got all kinds of hikers. That's an Australian hiker ahead of me. Behind me, there's a Russian hiker. They walked in, I think, a couple of Russian hikers. And part of the class of 26. When we go to trail days, the hikers that are through hiking the trail that are on the register, we're like royalty. A lot of these hikers are going to trail days. They're in Damascus. I'm not. Some of these hostels will even close down. I'm going to stay on the trail and make some miles. I'll go to trail days next year if I complete this hike and to visit everybody in the class. But I'm not going this. You can see the white blazes on under the interstate here. And this is all there is. We pop out. And the only place to eat, that Mexican restaurant. And that was it. So, and a gas station by the truck stop to get some. I got some beanie weenies. I got some Vienna sausages. I got a bunch of candy, $2.50 candy bars. You know, the big candy bars, big Snickers, big Butterfingers, stuff like that. I don't think it goes down there. I thought it went up here to the left. Let me see if he's. He's going that way. Maybe it does. But here's the thing. I went southbound last time, so I don't remember. Yep, that's the AT where he went up there. I see it now. I see the blaze over there. Yeah. Yeah, we can go up in the woods there. I'm gonna look around. It's not on good. Yeah, there it is. All right, well, I was in there in the Mexican restaurant. I charged up my phone. I was looking for my phone. I got it in my hand. I charged up my phone. It's got a full charge, which is always a good thing. And I made reservations online to the Quarter Inn Hostel. I've stayed there before. It's a really nice place. I think the house was built like back in the 1800s. It's been completely refurbished, and I believe, at least it's really, they got me a really clean place, and I'm looking forward to staying there. And they do a $16 breakfast, and it was a really good breakfast last time I ate there. And she makes a really good setup for breakfast. And from there, it's like 15.5 miles to the next hostel. So while I get there, I'll go ahead and make reservations to the next one. And I'll jump these hostels for a little bit. And I've got a pretty decent resupply. In the back it's heavy, but I got not hurting. And we're just going. The only thing I'm concerned about right now, I mean, I could camp anywhere, but I need to get away from this interstate so I can sleep. So I'm thinking about a mile and a half maybe, and get away from that noise right there. All right, let's go. But usually on these guys that come in from the other countries, it's like I asked his trail name was Bounty, and I asked Bounty, I said, how was your experience here? You know, he's come over here from Australia to thru hike this Appalachian Trail, and this is kind of how they all say it. He's loving it. He said it's a challenging trail. It's rugged and challenging, and he's loving it so far. And it's tough. This Appalachian Trail is tough, and that's kind of the allure of it. You know, it's part of the allure of it. All right. I think some of the allure from these foreign hikers is these national forests that we're hiking through. They're not small. I mean, you're talking like the Cherokee, 800, over 500,000 acres, Pisgah, over 500,000. The Jefferson right now we're hiking in Europe. You know, I mean, we take this stuff for granted, and we're right here, man. This is our tromping ground right here, just hours away from the house. If you're healthy and get out there and you're walking in good shape, you got to get out here. Get out here. Yeah, people come around from all over the world to come out here and do this. And we just don't realize how lucky we are. I do. Hey, I'm gonna find a place. There's a bunch of hikers out here, about a mile and a half, sleeping in a field, I think. I gotta find a tree, some trees. All right, where are we going here? We go down to the left, it looks like. We ain't going up there. I'm gonna go this way, looking at the road signs. All right. Oh, it's clear. All right. Oh, the fresh cut grass. That's been probably mowed today. They mowed this down for the hikers. That is so nice. So cool. Keep the ticks down. Yeah. Must be private property over there. There's cows on that hill. Headwaters of the Middle Fork of the Holstein River, near the early settlement known as Davis Fancy, 1748. That was a long time ago. That's back during the Treaty of Paris. Jean Louis' days. Jean Baptiste. Wow. That is old. I'd almost want to go up to that cemetery, but it looks like you got to go through. There's not a path there. It's all thick grass with seed ticks. And it's probably up on the top of that hill, and I'm not going to go up there. Look at, let's go. That old cemetery might have been pretty cool, but I'll tell you, it's getting dark. It gets dark out here. The sun, as soon as it gets down one of these mountains, and it already is, it's starting to get dark. And I got to at least go another, probably 30 minutes, another mile, actually more than that. I better start looking for a campsite. I got to get away from this road. gonna go at least another half mile, I think, to find any place to possibly camp, at least. That sun's going down quick. I was looking at them two trees, but look at that hole. I don't even know how that hole goes down. I can get away from it. Eee. I can get out of there. Alright, we're gonna stretch it across this field here. See what's on the other side of that. Looks like there's some trees on that other end. Alright. This is a spring gate. Okay. And they got cows out here. Can't mess that up. That's just a spring gate. And there's cows out here. Cow on top of the hill, cows over there. And I'm going. I'm back there at that Mexican restaurant. I could have walked 4/10 of a mile down that road, and there was a hostel down there. $35 bunk. But it's like, why? I sleep fine in this hammock. I got a hostel reservation 10 miles from here. That's tomorrow's when it's gonna rain. And tonight it's gonna be nice. And why go? I'm trying to feel like I want to get this hike in. Why go a half a mile down the road, then a half a mile out first thing in the morning? You know, why not conserve my energy? Come on down here. I can check in as early as noon. So I'm going to hang around there and rest, and I still get 10 miles in. You know, I'm due a 0 day. Tomorrow's be day 7. And I said once a week I'll do a 0. That's what you need to recharge, but I can do a 0. I'll save the 0 when I get to Pearisburg. Pearisburg and the Narrows are both the same place. All right, let's see. We got to find a bunk. That sun is almost down. We just lost the sun. Ain't even got to cross this. It might be a 60-acre field, maybe. Ain't even got to cross it. And the sun's gone. And it's going to be gone. See if I can find a hammock spot up there, that tree line. That side of the ridge over there, it'll be light for a little bit longer, but this side, I'm going on down right down here. It's going to be, you can see how dark it is in there. It's dark. Depends on where you're at when it gets dark out here. I'm going to be setting up in the dark.